Hey, this is Dean with StreetFighterTradingSystem.com. Alright, this is July the 23rd, and the data is from the 22nd of July. There is so much in this chart, and I have to pick something, or two things. First, I want to talk about measured moves again, one-to-one extensions, whatever. You can find them in all sizes, and zoom in and you find them one level smaller and so on, and they are really like the skeleton of the whole chart, of this fractal thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna show a few. So here you've got one leg up, a correction, actually two legs, bit of sideways, then two legs down. So we can expect another leg up. And when I say expect, it's always there is a likelihood. It's just, in your head. It's not surprising if there is another attempt or a complete second leg, especially since here is yesterday's close and it has not been reached. All right, so we get that second leg up, but what happens? It doesn't reach target. It doesn't reach target, and this is just something also again to keep in the back of the head, because it might try again. There is a possibility that they just, that's it, and it's going to reverse, and then maybe there is another big leg down from here. That is possible. So yeah, we cannot know, but we just know it didn't reach target, right? So then the next arrows I marked here, we have actually a two legs down. That is in itself 1 2 1 2. So this 2 times 2, and then we get a little correction up here. This one, right? It's one leg, two legs up. You can call it A, B, C. And we know that this two-legged thing, correction to the upside, or here just in the other direction, can be like a center of a pattern. Often that's what Mac from PriceActionTradingSystem.com teaches. And it's good to observe these things. And again, just to have it in the back of the head. Oh, careful, this is a two-legged move up again, a small correction. So we can again expect another leg down. And this is what happens here. So see that I drew this normally live. Of course, you would draw it here. And then you attach it here. Well, actually, I would use this tool, right? So like this. And when it hits the target and just overshoots a little, that's fine. So I think, yes, target hit. Now I just drag it over here to make it parallel to this one. But I keep it at the same length. Huh? I'm not cheating here. Maybe I'm cheating by one tick, but not more. Right? This leg, however, is so strong and happened so fast and violent, and there is no correction in this leg, nearly no correction. So that when we get another leg up, it's not unlikely that we get another of these down, I think. So that's what happens here, just to show that sometimes there can also be three legs down. It doesn't have to be two. But this is exact. It's exact another leg down, right? That doesn't have to happen again, but it's also not surprising when it does. From there, we got two perfectly measured moves up. This is like the cleanest of this day. Is this two-legged move up, which is, from a setup point of view, it's always really nice. If a big two-legged move hits target, then for sure you don't, like you would not go long here again. Like you give the long side a break, and you look for a failed second entry long. For example, that would be a reversal pattern, as Mac calls it. Right, so that's what happens here, and this is a really good setup. So it makes A, B, C, D, E, like A, B, C, D, E, or failed two-legged pull by failed second entry. Right. Okay, that is nearly all to the measured moves. There are much more of those guys in here, just to show what happens in the end of today and it's still within the trading hours, it hits target. That is always so not surprising, it's so beautiful to see when that happens, right? And one more thing is that if you take this big leg here, this big leg that didn't hit target, but still let's take it, we attach it down here. Wow, there is another exact leg up, right? So that makes this two-legged move up even better to take reversal after that, because it's an exact copy of that leg as well. Then we take it to this point, and it's again exactly to the tick from the leg from here, right? So you think, what is this? But it's not so surprising when you watch, for example, videos from Mac, and we know that he uses channels a lot. When you have two, it's the rule of the parallelogram. When you have two equal moves and they are just not exactly parallel horizontally, but one of them starts a bit higher. Well, if you connect here to here, I mean, it's a parallelogram. And all in all, that is what then starts to look like a channel, right? So if the channel is really robust, there will be another leg up here that is the same size. So this is just, it connects measured moves and all these and channel things. So it's all the same thing in the end. You just have to focus on one thing at a time and then maybe go on learning another thing, I think. Right, okay. There would be much more to this, but I want to talk about something else, about the specific setup that happened. I have to get rid of these two guys here. And it happened in here. So after this strong leg down, and there was a correction upright. And it's also a reminder again to draw the short-term trend lines or short-term channels even, but you know, not the big broad channels, but the small ones. They're very important. So here we can draw a short-term trend line up like this. I try to connect as many bars as possible. And what happens? What happens? Well, first of all, it hits its head here on this, what used to be heavy support up here. Now it bumped his head. But do not go short the first time. That is, like I said that before, only because it's a two-legged pullback or second entry. That's not a good entry here. Yeah, maybe you got lucky at some point here, but that was just luck, because you bump your head right into the short-term trend line. Okay, so what happens, and what is the basic rule that Mac teaches and that we can observe all the time, is that when a short-term or any trend line for that matter breaks, prices usually try or accomplish to make a new extreme. So this one is clearly a try to make a new extreme, I would say here, and it fails. And also we have quite a bit of support up here that is now resistance. So this is a lower high after a two-legged pullback. And I think this is a safer entry for sure than the two-legged pullback. We call it a TTT, trap the trappers, because the ones who try to take a failed two-legged pullback to the upside here, they are now trapped themselves, right? And you can take that just blindly all the time just because the failed second entry failed. That is not a reason enough. But I would say with this resistance up here, plus this leg was so strong that we can expect a similar move down, that it's reasonable to sell here below. Now the same thing happens here again. So you think, oh yeah, nice, I know that. So you try to draw this short-term trend line. It bumps its head. Wow, everything looks the same. But remember, if it's not very clear how the short-term trend line looks, you can copy it to the other side and try to adjust it there, like this maybe. Copy it back. So maybe like this. It just always just ticks, and now I can do it like this maybe. Yeah, I'm more or less happy with that. Yeah, look, it fits nice with the price on both sides. So here this one was a convincing break and a move up. Here it doesn't really break till here, actually, right? It doesn't really break till here. So you cannot say this one is a break and then it moves to a new high and then we sell below. No, it's not. It broke here and then it made a new extreme. So don't go short here only because it's a lower high after a two-legged pullback. It's exactly the same setup. It's also a trapper setup, TTT. It's all the same except the short-term trend line rule is not there. Plus, even if you didn't see that, here where your entry would be, again here, there is already heavy congestion going on. And in congestion, the problem is you cannot know when you enter here, like you get filled, even if it went down eventually. Because it is congestion, it could happen that prices just like whipsaw a little bit up and down and maybe stop you out casually and then move down, right? So there is just many little hints that tell you that this one is not the same setup as this one. It's not. The pattern in a way would be the same, but that alone is not enough. So okay, all right, guys, this is it. I also wanted to talk about maybe the structure and find some big range in here, but actually the bigger picture, yes, it is also important and can be nice in hindsight, or maybe for later in the day you maybe find one or two things that make sense, but these big structures in my eyes are less important than the smaller things. Plus you have to focus on one thing and try to learn that. And so I'm gonna stop here, one thing at a time, also for me, otherwise it's just too much to mix everything up. So I hope that was helpful and interesting, and just let me know what you think and in the comments below, and see you next time on Train with Dean. Bye bye.